Which singer has the best voice in your opinion? Ella Fitzgerald. I am blown away by her skill every time I hear a new song of hers. There's a lot. She could sing literally anything and make it sound beautiful. There is only one real answer because he sang the greatest song in the world. Jack Black aka JB aka Jables. Certainly not my favorite artist, but I've always appreciated how Bruno Mars sounds the same as the recordings when he performs live. Also fantastic entertainer all around. I'm a rock enthusiast, so I have to go with a lesser known singer with absurd vocal range. Miljenko Matijevic of Steelheart. His vocals were used to back Mark Wahlberg's singing in the film Rockstar 2001. He has mad pipes and is definitely slept on as one of the greatest rock singers of all time. Connor Mason Nothing But Thieves. His voice makes me feel things I don't feel otherwise. Sorry makes me feel sorry even when there's nothing to be sorry for about. It'd have to be between Whitney Houston and Celine Dion for me. But also Kelly Clarkson. Hard to pick. Lol. Michael Jackson. He was so ubiquitous that we take for granted how stupidly, transcendently talented he was, including having one of the most beautiful, versatile singing voices of all time. Current. Kelly Clarkson is the first one that came to mind. I saw her do some singing show and her and Ariana Grande went back and forth singing different songs. She nailed every single one, including Whitney Houston. I've always really loved Brandon Urie's voice. I don't care what genre he sings, I would listen to him sing the dictionary. Another vote for Floor Jansen. If you need to know why, go look up the rendition of Ghost Love Score she blasted at WAC in 2013. She's on a whole other level that just makes most of the pop star vocalists that get mentioned in these threads look like an 8th grade talent show runner-up. Katie Lang. She is known for her version of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, but her voice really shines in Roy Orbison's Crying, both the duet with Roy and her solo version. Okay, I think there should be a distinction between alive and dead. Alive. Men Ben Platt. Woman Christina Aguilera, and unfortunately her songs are horrible lately. Dead. Men Freddie Mercury. Woman Whitney Houston pre-40s. Sarah Brightman. Her live performance of Fleur du Mal is breathtaking and sounds like it's been auto-tuned. She's such a diva. Chester Bennington had a voice so pure and angelic with incredible range. The outro to The Little Things Give You Away Live in Milton Keynes gives me chills every time. Sings like that then screams like he's possessed. Don't think he ever had a bad show. Even breaking his wrist early into a set and carried on for another hour at least. True dedication. Mariah Carey. I'm not a fan of her personally, or the type of music that she puts out, but her voice is absolutely incredible. I understand that she made a grunge album at one point, but has never released it. Now that is a record I would be interested in hearing. Always catch hate for saying this, but Ronnie Radke has a fabulous range and excellent control over his vocals. His live vocals sound exactly the same as in the studio, and he always has such strong stage presence while doing so. X200B. Roy Khan and Tobias Forge are also up there. I tend to prefer cool or weird voices over technically excellent ones. So people like David Bowie, Janis Joplin, and even Bob Dylan are my jam. I realize the latter sounds like a dying cat to many people, but he's awesome at it. Mariah Carey has to be up there. She has such a powerful voice that can also hit those extreme highs. On the metal side of things, Lil Ramos. Dude can do absolutely insane things with his voice, combine screaming styles effortlessly, and can do it all live. Right now? Josh Kiska of Greta Van Fleet. Ever? Probably Robert Plant, Paul McCartney, or Ann Wilson. Martha Wainwright. She did a song with Snow Patrol called Set the Fire to the Third Bar and it is ethereal. Obviously Nana Mizuki. Her voice can reach the lower and highest notes and her vocal skills doing vibratos are chef's kiss. Man, so much preference in this question. Guess I'll go for mine off the top of my head. Male, alive David Phelps. Female, alive So Hyung. Male, dead Thurl Ravenscroft. Female, dead Angela Lansbury. Dimash Kudaibergen is arguably the best singer in terms of vocals. He has an incredible vocal agility and a 6-octave vocal range and can hit the whistle note almost effortlessly. His range is between C2 to D8, which is exceptionally high for male singers. The two that currently never fail to bring forth the goosebumps are Susan Tedeschi and Rachel Price. Going back in time, I'd echo Sam Cooke, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, Jessie Norman, Cecilia Bartoli, and Pavarotti. Lane Staley has the most incredible voice I've ever heard. His range is insane and his voice was so powerful and emotional. His vocals especially shine in songs such as Sea of Sorrow or Bleed the Freak. Nico Keys for me not an argument for literal best but just one of my favorites that deserves mention here. I've been seeing her live for over 10 years and she always nails every note, and has this really bittersweet melancholy tone, while still being bright and beautiful sounding, that makes me emotional every time. How anyone has not mentioned Paloma Faith yet or Sia for that fact. For me they both have utterly amazing vocals. Make vocals though it has to be David Draiman of Disturbed. Freddie Mercury will always be up near the top of all-time greats. I'm a 55-year-old male who has seen around 200 concerts, mostly rock. The only time I was ever really blown away by a voice was seeing Carrie Underwood live. Holy cow, can that girl belt out a song! I've been back to see her a second time and it was just as good. For me, Aretha has the best recorded voice across an entire catalog. She's my favorite, so I will admit the bias, but just listen to Ain't No Way. Not as well known as some of the other names here, but Rachel Price from Lake Street Dive. Absolutely phenomenal. I feel like Scott Weiland doesn't get mentioned enough. He has a very smooth yet strong vocal presence. Floor Jansen currently in the band Nightwish. She's a classically trained singer in a metal band. She can sing any genre from rock, pop and opera. Robin Zander, Cheap Trick frontman for 50 years now, sounds as good today as he did 30 years ago. I love effortless voices. Carole King, Ella Fitzgerald, Frank Sinatra. They just make perfection sound simple. I'm not the biggest fan of this artist because I feel like she can use her voice for better tracks. Currently, Halsey has an extremely unique beautiful voice. I am a metalhead, but I saw Adele during her Vegas residency with my wife and the amount of control that woman has over her voice is staggering.